Yo, 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 what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Before
Just
we
the
get
two of
started
us.
tonight, I do want to go ahead and say shout out to our Marines out there, 250th birthday. Um, God bless you guys and everything you guys do in the service for us and sacrifices you make. So I just want to make sure you're recognized today.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
But yeah, so we posted on our Discord, which is free to join. There'll be a link in the description if you're watching us for the first time, whether live or in a replay. But we posted, they were looking for some questions from the community. It'll just be me and Justin here today, hanging out with you guys, watching football and drinking some pours with you guys. So we got a couple questions we'll roll through today. Justin, you got something you're going to start with?
Small batch select, dude. Every time. I will. I'm gonna pull up the game and get it rolling.
Yeah, I know. I've got it down there in the one of my cubes on the screen here. See, we got 5 folks in here. Throw some stuff in the chat. Let us know how you're doing, what you're drinking, what you're doing. I guess my first question in the community before we get started into your questions is I'm going to give you guys options there, every time I pour something. So
obviously is the bell
cow. My bad.
Start the night. We've got a Leaper's Fork Knoxville Barrel Society pick. And we got an Altschuler 18-year French Oak single barrel. So you guys put in the chat which one you want to see. The Leaper's Fork is malted wheat, and unmalted wheat is 100% wheat Cabernet finish. So that's the details on that one. Very weird, but we get down with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna post a link. Let's see. I'm gonna post the link here in the Discord.
Yeah. Well, there's Cash. Cash says Leaper's Fork. Tim says Leaper's Fork. All right, we're going Leaper's Fork.
What was your other one?
The Altschuler 18-year.
That one. Go with that one. I just want to be difficult,
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about a malted 100%, 100% wheat with malted stuff in it, but I heard good things about Leaper's Fork. It does smell good. Tons of wine on the nose. All right, I'll pull up our list of questions we were asked. So our first question from the community was, do we think it's a problem seeing the same picks across stores like Old Forester, Single Barrel, Knob Creek, Makers, etc.?
Not necessarily. I mean, what are we talking about? All stores, like local stores?
Yeah, they just said, I guess they're talking about like local stores, yeah, with liquor stores.
I mean, it's tough. Like, if I was a store, those are hard to turn down, It's hard to turn down. Like, they brings people into the store, I totally get it from their perspective. Like, I mean, one of my locals has 3 ECBP picks. I mean, I think 2 of them are pretty dang good, but like the price of them sucks compared to like the batches. I don't know why you do that, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Listen, guys.
Hey, the live chat's working. Hey, that's a victory for us.
It is, yeah, definitely. Okay, I think I bombed this out enough places. I think we're good.
All right, what's up, going on, Terry? Glad you're here. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Justin. I think we talked about this at one point, was like the liquor store, like point of view for liquor sales versus like a channel is really different. So like for a liquor store, it makes a lot of sense to pick those, well-known brands, especially if you can offer samples to your customers, because that's the reason I'm going to buy picks like that. If I visit a store, is I try them beforehand. I'm not against them. But for someone like us, like, it's probably not our first choice, but I don't know that we would turn down like a Knob Creek pick opportunity now that they have cash strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, then the stores, to me, This is where I think it gets a little bit in the weeds here. Is like so like not to like throw shade here, but one of my locals who has these ECBP picks, love them, great people there. But like the pricing on them, it's not great. To me, if I was running that store, those are what I would try to cut depending on the pick. Obviously, you can mark up certain picks a little bit more than others and be fine because the allocation. But man, I would want to make them as reasonable as I could to be
Mm,
get people in because most of the time they're going to keep coming back or they're going to pick up other stuff too, and that's where you're going to make your margins. I would think that's what I would do if I was running a store. Not that I have any experience doing that, but I just think that would make the most sense. You want to keep customers coming in and grabbing those. You can afford to sit on stock, whereas like channels can't really do
mm,
that. Not that we would push bad picks, especially us. Like we've passed on so many picks and stuff already that that's not our thing. But I totally get like I get other channels pushing stuff because they kind of have to, and what's going on. But
yeah. I think a lot of things
yeah,
you'll see too is with these larger distilleries, these bigger parent companies, when they send these like pick invites out to the channels, like you do see a lot of channels going at the same time. I mean, that's just those companies being efficient. They're saying, hey, we're going to have everyone come within this so many week long span. And so you do
yeah,
end up with like channels picking the same type of thing close to each other because of that.
yeah, yeah, Terry. That's kind of like what I'm saying is not necessarily. I don't think you should do it at a loss. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying that you should try to not make 30% or whatever your markup is. Like I think you should just try to make a little bit on it and then move on. Get other people coming in to get your stuff that you can make your margins on.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
making better margins on beer and wine, probably, I would
Yeah.
imagine, and cocktails. Um, like I know vodka and stuff like that, like you make a lot on margins.
Yeah.
So that your shelf products, that's what I would try to do. And then run specials on your shelf products that you can when you buy the quantities that.
Mhm. Yeah. I know there was one
Yeah.
store I used to travel a lot for work in El Paso, and his loss leaders were his vodkas and his wines and his beers, and he would
Mhm.
sometimes, like for Buffalo Trace products, like right, he would take, is it Elizabeth vodka they own? Whatever vodka brand they own, he would be like to get
For which one?
for Buffalo
Buffalo
Trace.
Trace?
Yeah,
Wheatley.
Wheatley. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, if you want to get, this bottle allocated, you have to buy a Wheatley in combination with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna taste this guy. I haven't got to try it yet.
Yeah, checking out this Leapers fork is awesome. Like, like this thing is so good. I'm completely blown away.
This is the new Arctic Spirit that released. Shout out to Rich for sending one my way since I couldn't make it up there. And then
OG here.
shout out to Dan and Sean for doing this. You know what I mean, and keeping these things reasonable. Mostly 12-year Murai in here, so pretty cool. Love those guys. Big milestone for 2 years for them doing that. It's pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, they're really doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, and they're keeping the price point
Yeah.
so good. Nice guys.
All right, Jonathan, we'll get into this one. Curious to hear y'all's thoughts on Detling pricing.
Mm,
So, I have a very
trash.
particular point of view on this because I probably first got into Detling around the end of 2023. The first person I ever heard talk about him was Fred Minnick. He talked about him in like 2022 or 2021, like when they were super young, like 3-4 years old, distillate max. So I got into them in 2023, and they sat, and nobody knew anything about them, and they gathered dust, and they were weird, and they had a weird mash bill, and they were funky, and all the things that they still pretty much are, just younger version. Um, and they were like $70, 70, $80 for a single barrel at the time. And I was totally happy to spend it. It was wild and what I'd been used to, very early in my bourbon experience. And I was a big fan of them, and I really propped them up anywhere I could, and sent tons of single barrels out to people from Alabama. I live in Alabama, if you didn't know. So I used to come to our ABC stores, and I could just get cases of the stuff, and nobody else had distribution of it at the time, except for a select few stores. And then obviously you turn the page to Bruzel kind of blowing them up, I guess in 24 at the big Spillway event, and man, their pricing is just kept creeping up. And I know they're a craft distillery. I know it's like a 2-man operation. I know he's a volunteer firefighter. Like, he's an awesome dude. I love everything he does. I love his ethic. I love his way that he thinks about things. But it's kind of crossed that border for me as far as the pricing is concerned. I loved last year's Gold Barrel. I haven't tried this year's, the Gold Wax. I kind of scoffed at it at first. Tasted it, would have paid the price last year for the Gold Wax. Then he went up again on this year's Gold Wax. So I don't know. It's tough because they used to just sit, and now he doesn't even distribute to ABC stores because he sells out through his online store. So I don't get any access anymore, and I live in Alabama.
I did like the Gold Wax the best out of all of them, but yeah, I mean what he said. So
very passionate about that topic.
So Cash. Spoilers.
Yeah, it's like I had to hide this one.
We'll have to talk about it later, but there has maybe been something that has been selected, so we'll reveal more soonish when we get everything confirmed. But that I did fly down to Atlanta recently, so and did something there with another group. But all that stuff, we'll have stuff coming soon, more details soon on that.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll make an announcement. I do want to highlight we do have Father Elijah Craig in the chat tonight, so special guest there.
I switched. I'm gonna let this sit, the Arctic, sit a little bit because it's pretty fresh crack. I poured one sample out and it's changing a lot, so I'm gonna let it sit a little bit, and I'm gonna switch and take. I'm gonna taste this sample of Tanager from my buddy Jared J Boogie.
Yeah, Terry. I know he says that he's doing it to prevent secondary, but I didn't think secondary really ever existed on Detling. In my point of view, I never saw it myself. I don't participate in the Facebook group, so I don't know. Maybe it was there, but like I said, it used to sit, and I used to get it no problem. And so he said he's trying to prevent flipping, and maybe flipping was occurring, but it's not something I ever saw. Usually, if I wanted a single barrel pick and I knew about it from Detling, I would just contact someone who lived in the area, and they could run and grab it. Like, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's a scapegoat, personally, but like, I get it to prevent secondary, but you still should charge a reasonable price for what you're doing. And like I said, I respect all the hard work he does. Absolutely. I know it's tough. It's a small operation. He's craft through and through, but he's like the only one doing that too. So I'm kind of like, okay, what's the deal here, buddy? We got a Philly fan in the chat. Sup, Dakota? Got dynamic pricing quotations. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The whole pricing, so it doesn't hit the secondary thing. I think that's a load of shit. But
yeah, it's
you can't stop that. It's gonna happen. Like it's something that's inevitable. So if it's good, it's gonna go to secondary. Like, just what it is. Like, look at C&E right now, right? That thing is $350, and then that's still secondary. That arguably is secondary pricing right from Campari. So,
yep. No, it's valid, and like as Cash said, hey, if you can sell it for that price, that's awesome. I'm glad that he's able to fund that. I just kind of hope he continues to offer. Like, my access has gone down and the price has gone up. I would like for the access to kind of be restored if they're going to go up in the price.
Yeah, it's rough for like specifically. To me, it would be a similar situation like if Detling, what Detling is doing with their pricing, it to me is like if what is Crittenton's did that too, like out of nowhere because their stuff was selling so fast, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you do that? You're like shoot yourself in the foot here when you're trying to build a base. Like, I mean, I know he's got limited barrels and stuff, but like, I don't know, like, just keep your pricing, and if you can, you know what I mean. Look to me what we just talked about with Evernorth with Dan and Sean. They've kept their pricing pretty much the same throughout the whole thing. I feel like they've just picked up. Now they're getting Michigan stores and everything, so whole different thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Money
Yeah.
grab versus not. You can say prevent secondary all you want, but that's money grab. I mean, he's money grabbing. No other way. Like, you don't charge 250 plus for a 6-year ride. It just
Nathan in
doesn't
the
make
chat,
sense.
what's up, man? Everybody wants to live that Willet life.
Exactly, and that's why I own 0 Willets. So.
Speaking of Willet, that's the next vote you guys get to do. Do you guys want me to revisit? Spoiler alert: we have, at least I have reviewed Milestone with Randy and Norm. I got Milestone 3, and I got a Willet 7-year rye single barrel for you guys to choose from. So let me know what first person to respond gets to pick my next pour. And so it's not like Chris Blanco. What's up, Chris? Said that he knew there was some secondary. I don't doubt it. I mean, I figure there is. Like I said, I'm just not in those circles, so I just don't see it. Jonathan in the chat trying to compare Detling to Crittenden's, but man, it is tough, especially considering the profiles you can get at each. That's true. It is true.
Yeah.
I would even argue that Crittenden's does an excellent job of not tasting craft.
I was gonna say it really doesn't have like the craft, it has like that asphalt kind of thing going on. Or what did you describe it a different way once when we were talking about it one day? Because I said asphalt, and then you said something, and then you're like, "Yeah, I can see,"
or
something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the next CSC. Our next question was future barrel picks. We kind of did tease the short barrel. Again, details to come.
Yeah, there's a few things that we got kind of in the works. We're like, so there's like a happy medium here. Not to like speak for all of us here, but I feel like we kind of are on the same page here where we want to balance offering you guys stuff in the Patreon, right? As well as being very picky, no pun intended here, with what we select. So we have we have had and are having great opportunities here for some very unique things. And I feel like that's kind of the lane we want to be in. Cause like, I mean, everybody's out there picking 13-year Barton, right? And it's got $250, 13-year Barton, whatever. Some of it is excellent. Some of it, there's so much on the market. There's tons of 10-year beam right now on the market. There's just a balance that we want to try to hit where we want to offer unique things and really good things to you guys for the best price we can. Like, obviously with our rating, the way we rate things, that we want to kind of hit that happy medium without overpopulating our market here with what we have. We also our channel is not huge still. So that's why we have this really good relationship with this other group. We'll talk more about that later once things evolve a little bit. I don't want to just like throw that out there. But it's given us a lot of opportunities to split barrels continuously of very unique and good things, as long as we all agree. So that's the other thing, is like we have 4 of us that have to kind of agree on these things. And sometimes it's me who says no, 3 against 1, still no. So this shit happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's yeah, and obviously if you're newer here, we do have 2 announced picks that we've bore with from Backbone. We've got an Irish whiskey that I believe is like 7.5 years old, 120-ish proof. That one's awesome. And then we also, from Backbone, we have a fusion cask, which we're calling Stogie-tastic. That is a bourbon whiskey that is then blended with bourbon finished in, I think, Amaro, uh, is it cognac, and Opera, which is an Australian
Yeah.
sherry.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Yeah. And then it was blended, and then it was sitting in a used barrel at that point. And then I was there with Randy on that pick, and then we sent samples to Zach and Norm. And that I'm not a cigar guy. I don't do that, but I enjoyed it. It's a fun pour. Um, I think I think it's great. It's a really fun, great pour on its own. But it's a total awesome bottle if you want to split that one. That's a great splittable one. But the cost is going to be. I feel we don't have final numbers, but generally Backbone, the cost just is so good that you don't really have to split it for the cost. But if you want to, cool. The Irish it's a buy.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it. Just buy it. And I know we said Irish, but it's not what you think of an Irish. It really, we say it's an Irish because it is, but it's really not. It drinks more like it's a bourbon.
Yeah, it's
Irish.
very ASM style in the sense that
it's so good.
It drinks
it's so
more.
Good.
It definitely it was aged in a Kelvin barrel when it got to the U.S. I spent 3 years in Ireland, 4.5 years in Indiana, I assume, at Backbone in a Kelvin barrel. And that Kelvin really exerted its influence on it. And it does have a lot of bourbon characteristics while still being 100% malt whiskey.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Nolan, it comes in toted. He buys it in totes. And then as soon as it gets here, he puts it in new Kelvins.
Yeah.
And it's such a unique thing that he's doing. And if you know, it's more of if you know thing, but it kind of is if you know. So it's just that good.
Yep. And then I know that for the last one we've done is a little, Patreon founders thing that we did through Tyler Boggs over at Southern Collective. A lot of you guys know Bogzilla. We got to taste some 11-year, 36% MGPs. And we selected one of those to kind of offer you, not really as a barrel pick, just sort of as like a thank you guys for your support, for being founding members, for jumping in on this train with us early and before we had, any barrel picks to offer you. So we wanted to try to reward you guys. We think it's a really good barrel, and obviously if you've had some Southern Collective or you like High Rye MGP, I think you'll be happy with that one for the price as well. I'm seeing a lot of Willet talks. I think I'm going to pour the Willet just because that's what seems to be on everyone's minds. So I'm going to do a Willet 7-year rye single barrel from Jack Rose called Electric Sheep, 104.8 proof. I don't know the barrel number, so I don't know what kind of rye from Willet this is, but
Willet's one of the ones I probably know the least about. I know it's tons of barrel codes and all that stuff, and I think I've only tasted one pick when I was in Texas with Jeb. And his pick was awesome, but that's the one and only. I can't pay the price of those. It just doesn't make any sense to me with the age and the way those are. For something, I would want to taste it first before I spent that kind of money.
It smells like green tea. Yeah.
So Tanager, not a fan. I thought it was fine.
Is that this year's or last year's?
Last year's.
Oh, last year's. Okay.
I thought it was fine. It's nothing. The nose was great, but it's like, I don't know. It felt kind of thin. Like the single barrel picks I've had of bourbon and rye have both been, I think, better than that. And I know Tanager's its own unique like cigar blend type thing with the red, white, and blue corn, but not to me, not worth the price. Even though the box and stuff is absolutely beautiful. One of the best presentations I've seen.
Yeah, I know those Hirsch has been getting a lot of those purple top mash bill stuff, and a lot of channels have been picking from there too. Because again, it goes back to earlier topic. Whenever they send out those invites, they definitely get blasted out to a bunch of different people at the same time. Man, Nathan in the chat loves Tanager so much, and I agree with you, Nathan. It's a very pleasing rye. This Electric Sheep. It's not it's not something I want to spend $400 on. But it's
No, I thought Nathan. I thought the tanager was good, but it's not. I don't think it didn't taste special to me. It was solid. Like I'm not upset by the pour. Like I would enjoy drinking it on its own, but I don't know. The nose on this Arctic is amazing. It's just caramels and fruits all together. Man, it's got a little bit of leather on it.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Justin. You have a bottle you're looking forward to next year, 2026.
Easy. Heaven Hill 22.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Heritage collection,
yeah.
22 year. Yeah.
Do we know anything about that? Is that a bourbon? Is that a
bourbon?
They're gonna pull some shenanigans on us?
Bourbon.
Yeah.
Bourbon. The label that came out, who knows if that's going to be accurate. I think the proof was pretty high, like in the 130s maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that, I mean, I'd say the CGF thing, but I feel like that's reaching for that, man. That's scary. I can't believe they're even gonna use CGF on a thing, because I think they're just opening themselves up to be hated for that thing. It's the same thing what's going to happen with Knob Creek, or when Booker's does a rye again. But
yeah,
I mean, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those are easily a lot of everyone's top of the list for next. Everyone always really interested in what next Heritage Collection Heaven Hill is going to do, and obviously anything that the Russell's boys put out gets a lot of interest.
I didn't get like any real texture. It just felt thin, but
yeah, I think for me this Willet Rye, super tasty. It's just I don't know if it's the proof point being so low, but it's just so like fairly mild and approachable that I would be like, I would love to spend $80 on something like this that tastes like this. I would be like, hell, let's go. But 200 plus now. Oh, Frankie got a question here. We were just talking about this backstage before we got started.
Where is it? Okay, right there.
To the left. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right here. I haven't opened it. I was gonna crack it and then send samples to the guys. It's on the list. We're talking in Drums and Drams Discord. We were talking about their possibility of being different proof points, but nobody's seen anything outside of the 117, which is what this is. There was rumors that from like Forbes or something that may went up to 130. So would have been cool to try some different proof points, but I think that may have been a mistake, and I think they're all probably 117. But no, I'm gonna wait and try this with the guys. I'm gonna send some samples out, and then we'll do a review on it and everything, or maybe we'll do a live review during a live stream here in a couple weeks on the next one when we're all together. Might do a couple more of those things where we just do some live reviews as we're kind of doing it. On stuff like this might be kind of fun, but yeah, no, I got one. I just need to try it. It was courtesy of Tex with Pex. He got it for me. So
shout out Mike.
Yeah. Oh, and I did grab the. I was at Costco and I grabbed one of the another 12 Creek 12 because it was $42.
Yeah, I mean. That was the whiskey that unlocked the nerdy person you see before your day. I was like,
I saw that. I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of those.
Mm-hmm. I said, Cash is wanting you to drink some Beam next, or maybe me. I don't know if I have any Beam in front of me. Actually, I do not. I have Beam to the side of me. It's not Creek 21. Hey Ron, what's up?
This is good. This is getting better as I sip too.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get better as it opens up and gets more air, because as it's sitting here, it just keeps getting better and better.
All right. So next topic in the Discord was if we had to pick one distillery to solely drink their products from at this moment, which would we choose? You can select one for American and another for non-American if desired. And that's from Stu.
You want to go first?
Yeah. If it's one distillery, it's probably a close race between Jack Daniels and Heaven Hill for me. I generally like a lot of the products they put out. I'll probably lean, even though it's a more tailored, narrower list of products. I probably would pick Jack Daniels just because across the board I like those profiles more than necessarily some of the other Heaven Hill profiles. But Heaven Hill has a lot more variety in their in their profiles.
What about across the pond?
Man, I really love everything that Bruichladdich does from a Scotch standpoint. They're probably my favorite peat profile for their port chocolate line, and then obviously their unpeated, the Bruichladdich stuff. I really enjoy.
See, so far the Scotch side of things is pretty easy for me, just because what I've tasted so far from Springbank has been all hitters. So I guess I would just go there so far. And then if I didn't say Heaven Hill, it's honestly tough. I'm honestly tempted to just say New Riff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what they've got coming out, like just those 10 years, just having those 10 years alone, both the bourbon and the rye, I was so impressed by that. And I thought both of them were fantastic. That, as their stuff gets older and they have so many different variations of things that they can offer with the malted ryes and like all that stuff, like I feel like they are the ones to watch right now, especially because they are keeping their pricing very consistent, low, and reasonable. And their 6-year picks are very solid for $60. Like nothing to be upset about. So, I think honorable mention for me too is probably Sagamore. I think they're doing really good shit for the low price again. Like I think my problem with Wild Turkey is their pricing. It seems like there's no ceiling for what they're doing. So, and I haven't really been as much of a fan more recently with their stuff as before. Yeah, Jack's doing some great stuff. I really wish I liked Jack more because they seem to be hitting everything. So,
in response to, I only drink Blue Run. I have one Blue Run bottle. It's from Take. I don't hate it, but it is strangely corn forward. And I haven't bought anything since. And I noticed recently that it sounded like Shared Pour was doing a $30 rebate on all of their Blue Run to include the Take picks. The one I have is the one he did in collaboration with the woman who was responsible for Russell's 13 Batch 1 blend. I can't remember her name, but I haven't tried it in a little while. But, I don't hate it. I spent $100 on it. It wasn't the best purchase I've ever made, but it was a moment of weakness. And the bottles are beautiful, Jonathan. I agree with that.
I'm trying to decide where to go from here. I need to figure that
out. Speaking of international, got two choices for you guys in the next pour. We got a Kilchoman Facial from 2024. That's this guy right here. And then we got a Evernorth Arctic Spirit, the first batch. This Kilchoman is a Madeira finished Isla Scotch whiskey, 10-year-old, 115 proof. So you guys tell me what you want to see me drink next. I'd drink Blue Run if they paid me $30.
Man, what do I want to do here?
Here you go. James says, are you turning into Bourbon Bill? Price.
No, I like stuff. I like, stuff outside of Beam first. And then, my biggest problem with turkey right now is like I think Matt Beacon I understand the pricing on Beacon at $2.99. Totally fair. It's a Master's Keep. Get it. I don't understand the pricing on Russell's 13 batch 6, and I don't understand the pricing on the single rig for 300. No age statement. Let's just throw it out there, and it's 300 to 350. Why? So, I don't know. I guess they just keep increasing the price because people are paying it. So, what are you gonna do?
Very special for us.
God, Randy would kill you right now. You know that.
You can get all your doll hairs out while you can, guys. Can't say anything about it. You got a bottle of ECBP. It says B519 has been over a while. It's evolved and a little edgy compared to the original. I've never had B519. I know that SLB recently did a 4-port flight with C925 versus C923, C919, and B520, and obviously 925 came in last.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't put more money on a bet that would have happened.
Well, during their initial review for C925,
I know.
They were like,
but I'm like, no, hard no.
I was like, even if you feel that way, you don't have to say that out loud. All right.
Yeah.
Even though I don't necessarily think that if I drink a peated scotch, I would ruin my palate. I've done it before. I will not, just in case. And I'll drink the Evernorth Arctic Spirit.
Oh,
because I've never actually had this before.
That's the port finish.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Tawny and Ruby, and I can't remember. It's a couple things. Yeah. Well, I've got the bottle right here. I guess I could just look.
No, was there a response to Midwinter's Graham, correct?
Kind of, yeah. So it's finished in Tawny and Ruby port. 6-year rye, 6-year Sagamore rye that's 52%.
Oh, that's
and 8-year rye MGP 95.5.
Yeah, so I just got the 95.5 because it's like bubble gum on the back end with that port. I'm like, ooh, boy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's good.
I love port. Justin just sent out some pretty cool tawny port from Moondrops.
Yeah.
And their Ruby port was awesome as well.
The Ruby port was awesome.
Yeah.
But the tawny, even though it's 100 proof, I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good out of 100 proof.
Especially if you love tawny port, which you don't know the difference. Ruby port's very sweet. Tawny port's a little nuttier, a little tame sweetness.
Yeah.
Port and rye go together like PB and J. Couldn't agree more. They're awesome together.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think if I should blind something or just do a comparison or just drink something else.
I know one of the questions we were asked in Discord was to rank. I don't know if you want to do it, but rank our ECBP for this year, which I have A125 in front of me. I don't own B525 and I don't own C925 either.
I don't have any more B or else I would.
Yeah, I gave away the splits.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I kind of already have done this. It's to me, it's ABC in that order.
Yeah. I think I would lean that way. A B's definitely improved.
B got better with air, but I still prefer the profile of A more than B. But I could totally see people liking B over A.
In a direct comparison, it's tough because the proof point for A is so low that it just gets. I mean, I've seen Cam's video.
The finish.
Yeah. Which
but I think I would put C924 over all of 25 batches.
Yeah, I know you really love that C924.
C924, it was really good.
Yeah, and to sum it all up, I mean, you put blinders on, it's still fine whiskey for the price. You're not going to be disappointed if you.
Yeah, no.
You just don't have to buy it. You just don't have to buy it anymore. There's other products that are cheaper or that are just better, even if they're more expensive. I mean, there's just better ways to spend your $75 these days.
I think the C925 was the first one I was disappointed in. I think everything else is I'm like, oh, okay. I'm fine paying that for for this bottle. Now, this last one, I was like, I wish I didn't have this bottle. So it tasted like maybe it tasted kind of like a Booker's batch.
Mm,
You know, like
yeah.
I don't know, like a
No,
mediocre
Cam said
Booker's
that.
batch.
He said Booker's. I think he
Oh, we
said,
did.
yeah, he said it tastes like a Booker's Dam,
Yeah,
which
you
is
know,
insult to Booker. I'm just kidding. No.
that kind of makes sense to me. That's
Yeah.
kind of like, I kind of lean that way too.
Another question we have from Stu in the Discord. What is our viewpoint on NDPs and independent bottlings? Are they net positives for whiskey consumers?
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah.
I was
Are non-distilling producers and independent bottlers net positives for whiskey consumers? What is our opinion?
Yeah, 100%. They're bringing unique things to the market. As long as you trust the person that's picking it, then yes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't ever want to see NDPs go away, or especially independent bottlers from Scotch, because that is a whole new world when you get to Scotch.
Mhm.
There's no better way to access cask strength than through the independent bottlers over there in Scotland. So I would hate to see those go away, because the distilleries do some cask strength releases, but they're very limited, and the independent bottles are just a lot easier to get, and they're
Mhm.
usually pretty competitively priced too. NDPs, like Justin said, they bring experimental, they bring weird stuff, they bring all kinds of things to the market that otherwise might get put in a blend and you would never know about, So
Yeah. And then I know Nathan's in here and would get this reference, but I'm not going to call anybody out specifically. But there are some NDPs that are doing some really good stuff and putting out some really good quality things at really good prices, and then there's some ones that are out there doing unlimited releases. So maybe too many unlimited releases. So that are kind of taking advantage of some things. So
yeah. We're still knotted up 0-0 in the Monday Night Football game for those watching.
yeah, I just saw that.
Jonathan, to answer your question, I did not care for batch 1. Loved batch 2. We have batch 3 samples in hand. We'll do a video on batch 3. So I would only buy batch 2. I would never.
Batch 2 was awesome. I think batch 2 was one of my favorite Booker's batches. Yeah. Yes, it tasted like Cracker Jacks. Cracker Jacks. It was great. $80. Yes, I would buy it at $80.
Yeah. Yeah, especially batch 2. But I like I really like nutty profile for Bookers. A lot of people don't, from what I hear on other online reviewers. So that's just my point of view. I like it when they're peanut buttery.
I don't mind it depending on the type of nutty it is.
I don't want earthy nut like skin and shell. Yeah. Raven batches this year prove what NDPs can do even for the price. Agree. Yeah, the Raven batches have been awesome. Tate's been doing killer job out there with Reveries.
Oh man, I don't know what the.
So my next pour is for you guys. We got an American Dark Arts American Single Malt in here, and then we got this Jackson Purchase, this foolproof, which I need to split and send to Nathan. If that kind of stuff sounds awesome to you, that goes down our Discord. So come hang out with us and split bottles and get samples and all kinds of fun stuff. If you guys are interested in seeing any one of those, let me know.
So if people haven't heard about this, I know SLB did a video on it, and actually it was Logan Whiskey Friends that I saw this on first, and then Jeremy Hughes told me about this too, and I picked this up. I did a split with him, so I took the split bottle. This is the Silver Springs Rye. This thing is awesome. I highly recommend buying this bottle if you can get it. It was $32 out the door when I bought this bottle for a cask strength, at least I think 6-year rye from New Riff. I'll say New Riff like this just because I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure. The mash bill is 65, 15, 20. So it's 65 rye, 15% corn, 20% malted barley. And this one is cask strength, and it's 122 proof. It is awesome. It's single barrels. They're great.
Yeah. Speaking of, I know we talked about awesome brands earlier, and you mentioned Sagamore, but New Riff definitely deserves a shout out. We have the Silver Grove reviews recorded, the bourbon and the rye for this year. I know those are distillery exclusives, but if you have a connection that can run those for you, those are solid for the price. Definitely worth grabbing.
Yeah, and when you buy those, it benefits their charity.
Yeah, local charity,
So.
not a national charity. So, next question in our chat on Discord was, with Thanksgiving and other holidays approaching, can you guys talk about pairings with holiday dinners before, during, or after, do's and don'ts? Do we like drinking with a meal, or is this not advised and will distract the experience?
Bourbon while you're cooking, easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter any.
No.
And then during, that's up to you. I just drink whatever all day. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Personally.
Love drinking while I'm cooking, just like Justin said. I'll pour up something while I've got stuff in the pot or in the pan, oven, whatever. During food, I don't drink. I find that for some reason, food tends to make all of my pores tannic and aggressive on the palate. So I don't drink at the same time I eat, but I will drink after I eat. And I can do bourbon with like dessert sometimes. Those don't combat each other. And then if I am drinking during a meal, very, very rare, but the few times I've done it, it's been with a low proof scotch. So yeah, wine with dinner, bourbon with dessert. Yeah, as Nathan said. That's the way to go. Beer with dinner is also good. I don't do it as much as wine because it bloats me, but Yeah, I don't think there's any do or don'ts. I mean, really, like all things that are, whether it's cigars or it's spirits, just do it how you like it, however you like it, whenever you like it. That there's no rules to this. So if you want to have something over a rocks, or over rocks in a rocks glass during dinner, go for it. Like there's no wrong way to do this thing. So no do's or don'ts as far as that's concerned. And I would say if you're trying to critically review a whiskey, then yeah, obviously the less distractions you have, the better. But
yeah,
not that serious either.
No, I mean, if you want to pair things, wine is the obvious choice to have with food, but I mean, it just depends on how serious you want to be for the situation. Usually when it's like family gatherings and stuff, I'm not taking it too serious, so it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll actually make like a spiked apple cider thing for everybody to kind of have with Thanksgiving. So everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, cocktails I would definitely be more apt to like drink that alongside of dinner. Yeah. Nathan, I don't know if that's a joke or not. There is a Bourbon Balls channel. It's Bourbon and Balls with a Z. But it does exist.
Terry, I will expect some of those.
Yeah.
For my delivery fees, of course.
I'm gonna revisit the Jackson Purchase because I did have a pour of this earlier a few days ago, and I wasn't super over the moon about it. Not an expensive pour, but it was very crafty, and I was kind of surprised that it was getting gassed up, but I guess I shouldn't be. So yeah, Nathan did not. Yeah, Bourbon and Balls is a whiskey YouTube channel. I think it's sports themed, but I don't know if they ever cover sports. Similar to like this is technically sports themed, but we're not really talking about the game too much. But there's not much to talk about either. But they actually collaborated with SLB on their Riley Children's Hospital thing, and they did a side charity that Randy and us guys donated some bottles to for the giveaway.
Yeah.
Sounds like, Justin, you're going to get some of those bourbon balls.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anything that says bourbon, well, to an extent.
Okay. This is improving. This is the Jackson Purchase, but it is kind of like a raw corn, like the corn kernel, hay straw type note still is present on the palate. It drinks below proof for, being 117 proof. It drinks, you know, pretty low, like I would say high 100s. They have a Beam for their master distiller. Yeah, Craig Beam. So, yeah, I mean, not bad. Nathan, I'll get you your split. Cash. This T-shirt is from a guy in the Spirited Discord. I gave him a shout out when I posted in Spirited Grabs. He has his own Etsy shop. He does these custom bottle outlines. So I requested, King Kentucky, Jack Age Stated here, and then Jack Single Barrel, and then Parker's Heritage, and then Russell's bottle, and then threw our logo on the sleeve. He was nice enough to do that. So I think he started a thread, so you can contact him, his Etsy shop, work out the details.
So I will say we were talking about Spirited merch. So I still have a store created through Fourth Wall, and I've been editing stuff and making stuff that way. So another way to do it is I've contacted Adam McIntyre in Georgia, who's done some merch for a couple other channels, and I'm trying to go through him. I want to kind of do it fast though, because we were kind of at the 1 yard line, and if I can go through a more of a local, smaller guy, I'd rather do that than go through a big company and throw him some business and money. So we're going to try to do that and get some samples done kind of quick.
Yeah.
I have some of the merch he's done, and I like it already, but I do want to, we do want to do a check with him printing stuff just to make sure our logo comes out and the shirts come out the way we like it. As soon as we confirm that, then we're going to go. But we'll see what we can do. But if we can get it done through him, I'd much rather,
Yes,
he's a great dude. So I'd rather do that. So he's throwing some stuff together, and we'll see. So slight pause on the merch, but we were getting ready to order samples anyway through Fourth Wall. So it's like, it's not much of a pause either way, because we want to quality check everything that we're going to offer before we offer it to you guys. Because I only want to offer stuff that I was going to wear. Same thing, Randy. That's all we all said is like, if we're going to offer merch, we're going to get the quality of shirts and the styles and stuff that we would wear, because we don't want to buy stuff we don't want to wear except for on the stream. So so that is what we're working on right now.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have the hats coming. We'll have t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies. So we'll get you guys swagged up with the Spirited logo.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance of a name logo without the headshots? Yeah, we have a Spirited Reviews logo that we use occasionally, kind of an alternate that doesn't have the kind of generic bearded dudes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a couple different variations we have. We also are going to put up a form soon for hats and Glens. So we're have that going.
Cheers, Nathan. The last one was from Ben. We got a question from Mark in the Discord. Is there any reason not to use vacuum wine stoppers on whiskey bottles? The kind that vacuum pump out the air in the bottle, used primarily for wine bottles. There's no reason not to use those. I know a lot of people typically will just rebottle it once it gets half full into a smaller container to reduce oxidation.
That's what I would suggest.
You can also do the wine thing. You do need to recharge those. I don't know what the timeline is, but eventually that air does eventually leak out through the cork. But there's no hard, fast rule about what should or shouldn't be done. That's just an option. And I think our final question we got in the Discord was, how did we all meet and how did it all come together?
Randy.
Yeah. Yeah, Randy sort of was the glue. I knew Norm first out of anyone through Stuff and Whiskey. Um, I got I did my honeymoon in Scotland, and I knew he was the Scotch guy from Stuff and Whiskey, and we hung out at a swag one year, talked Scotch and drank Scotch together, and we did a couple barrel picks at NBC together. And so we connected kind of over that Scotch love. He's obviously the Scotch guy of the group. And then I would say I met Randy, I think it was through a Stuff and Whiskey like bottle share, sample swap or something. And I just went up to Southern Collective for the first time and had met Tyler in person for the first time and got a bottle and it had floating bits of barrel in it. And I called it barrel candy. And I sent it to Josh and Josh really liked it. And I think Randy just requested a sample based off of Josh's comments on it that night. And that's how we initially connected. And I sent him a ton of stuff. And then met Justin through Randy, and he somehow decided that these three fools, were worthy enough to join him on this venture, and so here we are.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I met Randy through Cam's Discord, and then through some garden tool things, and then I was talking to Randy when he was thinking about this already, I guess, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, I'm thinking about doing my own thing, like whatever, and he was just like, well, I have something cooking. Do you want to maybe think about it? And then we kind of collabed, and it is what it is now. So, but yeah, Randy's the glue that holds it all together.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, any chats or any questions from you guys in the chat? I mean, there's not much going on in this game. There's not much to talk about. So, this Jackson purchase is getting better. I don't know. I don't really think it. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do, but this first full proof release is, it's fine. Cash finally got to meet Josh and Aaron last weekend. They are cool. Well, they are indeed. I got to go to their house one time, and they hosted me and my wife before a Patreon blind flight. Salt for the earth people, awesome people, kind of showed me what the whiskey community can be all about, and that's kind of the vibe that we want to share here with you guys as well.
Oh gosh, I'm just trying to pull the game back up. It like closed on me.
Like I said, you're not missing much.
No, but no. As soon as it went away, I was like, now something's gonna happen. Jordan Love taking off, running down the sideline. Yeah, I know there's a lot of Packers fans in here, specifically Randy. So,
oh yeah, he's the biggest Packers fan. Him and Holden,
huge.
I mean, they might as well wear cheese all day. Yeah. A125 versus B525. We kind of touched on that earlier. I think Justin and I are both Camp B still. I haven't revisited it in a while, but I might do that next.
To me, B lacks more of a profile that like it's almost like too meshed well. Like it just doesn't do anything for me. Like it just stays steady the whole time, and it doesn't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. A kind of like gives me a little bit of a ride, and it's got that sweetness to it. It's got a little bit of the fruits to it that I like a little bit better, more unique profile. Whereas B kind of lacks a profile.
Yeah, the main thing is basically none of them are returned to form. They're not returned to old. They're not C923. They're not C922 or whatever. Anything before that, anything 12 years. I mean, none of them are that anymore. If you're running low on them, if you don't already have like 5 to 7 of them, like a ton of us have, then sure, grab A or B and you'll be satisfied. But if you already have 5 to 7, you don't need to spend your money on it.
Yeah, Terry, I am Camp A, but yeah. John.
Jonathan says, any new indies or distilleries that we're excited about?
What do you mean by new, John? You mean a little bit more specific? No, but like I don't know. Unless you mean like I don't know how new you mean, but like I mean Blendery's doing some cool stuff. I think
Yeah.
the way they're using the barrels that they like, the expensive like buff turkey barrels and the Barton barrels and things that they're rebarreling things in, like the OZ Tylers and stuff. I've got a couple picks up there, like Old Cherry Cola that they rebarreled in the old cola, the very old cola Barton barrel. It's a cool pick, and for the price, like for $90, I think is really cool. I think they're doing some really cool stuff. And I just saw Hidden Bar.
They're not new. They don't count.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, outside of them, man, Circle City's been doing some cool stuff. I mean, local to me, Backbone isn't new, but they're always doing stuff. I guess from what Nolan told us, they don't do very many picks a year, which is crazy to me for what they have. I'm trying to think any other like what new NDPs. Like I haven't had anything from Dan Pope's thing, so I can't speak to that. What other NDPs that are new?
Yeah, give us some of your favorite new ones. There you go. And we'll
Yeah,
talk
there
about
you
if we had
go.
them or not.
And then I'll judge you. I'll
Yeah,
judge you.
exactly. For me, I'll pick out one distillery that I'm really loving what they're doing, and then I'll pick out one NDP. My distillery is Larrikin. I know they're probably not technically new, but they're new to me. I think a lot of the things it's like a lot of these brands that are just kind of coming on the scene aren't actually new. They've been in business for a long time. It's like Cedar Ridge. They've been in business for decades, but they're kind of now popping off. Copper and Cask is another one. That's a great NDP. Subtle Spirits, they do some great stuff. But Larrikin going to get my vote for distillery, and then for NDP, I'm going to pull a twist on you guys. I'm actually going to go with our buddy Chris Jobert in the Discord. Shout out to him. He is affiliated with this Roaming Road Spirits brand, and they don't. And this is rum, 20-year Venezuelan rum. They do other stuff too. They do cognac, Armagnac, Irish whiskey, etc. But I did want to kind of give him a shout out. Chris is a good friend of a lot of us on the channel and in the Discord, and the kind of barrels they're picking are really awesome. And if you want to explore some great stuff from a bourbon lover's perspective, they do kind of pick with that in mind. This Venezuela 20 is not available anymore. I don't think you could ask. You can ISO maybe, but this is excellent. He has other stuff coming out like this 18-year Barbados that he sent me a sample of here. Awesome, especially if you love Foursquare. That's Barbados. But I did kind of want to shout out Roaming Road Spirits. I think they basically came online maybe last year. I don't know. They're picking some awesome stuff, and I just kind of wanted to shout out a different spirit type.
Yeah. So John, the ASW, I've had a couple of their things and they've been pretty good. Even like I didn't mind their weeded. Is it weeded MGP? Are they sourcing MGP? I feel like it's it was like 8-year, the 40, 51, 45, something like that. It was is it the 5149 or it's something that's it's some weeded mash bill. I thought it was pretty good. I've heard good things about their other products, but I haven't really had much of it. I think Adam did a pick or two of ASW stuff, but I haven't really dove deeper into it. I'm down. I think they have a Georgia Heartwood something that I thought was actually I remember that one too. So I think they got some good stuff. Oh, okay. I didn't know they distill their own, but everybody staves everything now.
Especially in the South.
I,
You stave or you
you're,
rebarrel.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah. ASW starting to push their own juice, but it's mostly
Okay.
NGP.
I
Yeah,
feel
the
like
first
what
time I heard
I
about
tasted was
them,
NGP, but
yeah, first time I heard about them was actually SLB. They bring a lot of people on the map. I mean, that's just the power of their channel.
yeah.
I remember hearing about them back in 2023. Actually, still to this day, maybe I've had one ASW, but that's it. And I don't remember what it was or if I liked it or not. So it's one of those brands I just never got into. I don't think they distribute to Alabama. And it seems like it's one of those brands that's not like a must-have release from them. But I've heard good things about the Georgia Heartwood. No, I have tasted it because I tasted a store pick, but I didn't buy the store pick. But
I think that's why I didn't buy it from the local store. I think I tasted that, and they were trying to pick one of them, and I said I picked. There was like 4 samples. I picked one, and then he told me the price, and I said no. I wouldn't buy it for the price because I feel like it was like 100, 110 for an 8-year.
Yeah.
And I mean, regardless of that, regardless of the age, it didn't taste like $100+ whiskey. So I was kind of out on it.
I definitely got to take you up on that offer. I've been to Atlanta a couple of times and just never seemed to make the time to fit in short barrel or ASW. Although their tour options don't exactly excite me because I kind of want to try some of the other stuff besides their shelfers. But
yeah, I might be down in Atlanta soonish again. So we'll see.
One stave, one day. They must stave.
Well, interesting.
Since it's been asked, I'll report A125. This will be my first time having it since probably our B525 review, which was in like August.
I have tasted A compared to both of the other two, and I keep going back to I like A better. But
yeah,
I mean, who knows? You know what? This will bring me up. This is something else I wanted to talk about. Why we're all sitting here. Let me get a different pour. I want to get something. Why I talk about.
You get your soapbox.
You go. I'm gonna figure something out. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm going to pour the barrel your own or bottle your own rye from Heaven Hill.
Yeah, and the thing that really kind of shocked me about A was I was going into the review. I had the mindset of ECBP isn't what it used to be. It's not going to be good. It's going to suck. I'm going to hate it. And then we tasted it, and I was like, I really dig this actually. And it was at the end of the night, so take that for what you will. Either that's a positive or a negative for a whiskey. Sometimes it can be either or, but the sweetness really stuck out to me in that review. And I just really dug it. I mean, we didn't have, and the way we do our reviews is we're very tightly controlled on proof, but we do try to batch record. So, like a lot of Whiskey 2 channels do. If you like craft wheat, come to Georgia, visit Big Creek. That's up in the north, right? If I'm not mistaken, Big Creek.
I do not like craft wheat, but it's not my lane.
Rye BP.
Yeah, this barrel proof, the bottle your own is unbelievable. It for the money, killer. 132 proof, like 8 to 9 year old. It's so dark. It's so good. So this is what I want to talk about. So with blind flights, we kind of touched on it a little bit. I feel like maybe a different opinion than a lot of people. I know a lot of people swear by blinds, like blinds don't lie and things like that, right? I don't put that much weight on a blind flight. Having something double blind, I feel like is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Blind flights, or flights in general, sequencing I feel like plays a bigger role than what the actual outcome is, because everything plays off each other so much that it just can change. You know, you like what you like. Just because you blind 6 items, you know, 6 whiskeys together doesn't mean that reveals what you truly like the most,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Because I mean, to me, I'm never gonna drink anything. Like I don't drink stuff in a flight all the time. Um, I don't drink things normally in a flight. I drink something that I'm gonna have like a quarter to a half ounce, and that's how I enjoy it. I don't um like I like Stag 25A. We all kind of like. I mean, you were I think the lowest on it, but like it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I had that. I tasted that very old cherry cola or whatever from that OZ Tyler pick from the blendery,
Hmm.
and then right after it, I was talking to Jeremy at the time, and he was like, "Man, this Stag 25A sucks," and he's like, "It tastes awful, whatever." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he had had the same pour I did with that OZ Tyler, and then I changed and I had the Stag, and it tasted horrible. But it's the sequencing of it that played off of it so much that it made it taste terrible. And then I went to it on a fresh palate the next day, and I was like, "No, it's fine. It's what I thought. You know, I like it a lot. I enjoy it." So it's it's tough. Like I know, like flights are fun. I view them as like they're a fun thing, right? We kind
Hmm.
of hang out. We do a blind flight. It's fun. It's kind of fun to try to guess things and reveal it and make yourself look stupid because you can't. You guess it's freaking Texas whiskey and it's Irish pot still. You know, it's like whatever. You know, it is what it is. But like, I don't put a ton of weight on it like that. I feel confident enough in myself that I can have a pour, and I feel confident in dissecting it the way it is and then judging it. And I'm always open to being wrong and coming back and revisiting it and changing my mind. But I feel like people put too much weight on that, and sequencing plays a bigger role than people want to say. And I know sequencing affects me a ton, like a ton. It can change everything. So there are people that do a lot of live streams, and they do review after review after review. And we have nights where we record and we do 7 pours, and I guarantee you things affect the next thing. It's just the way it is. But we do the best we can with what we do, and we try to clear our palates in between and give us a little bit of time in between. But blind flights are different. They're fun. I treat them as fun.
Yeah. Blind fights are fun. I really enjoy doing them. I have a ton of fun with them. I don't let the results of the flight impact or completely direct how I feel about something. They are a data point, but you have to understand that like that data point is within the context of that flight only. So
Mhm.
um, I think if you're doing double blind by itself, that's probably the most objective you could be. Double blind
Mhm.
comparison still very objective, but as soon as you start introducing more and more variables, if you go from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pours, then that's when the flight exerts more and more influence as you increase those pour numbers. So
I
that's when
got
it
you.
becomes more entertainment value, less information value.
Yeah. And it is tough to, if you have proof differences, it's really tough not
Yeah,
to eventually go with the highest proof,
yeah,
just because it's going to stick out the most out of all of them, most likely. And it's going to be different situations. So it's really hard. I've tried to do it before. It's really hard to do a flight and just be like, oh, just forget that the proof is that big of a deal here. But it's hard on
yeah,
a flight like that. I'm okay with side by side comparison stuff
yeah,
too. That I'm okay with that. They still are going to affect each other, but it's minimal. I
yeah.
feel like you can kind of do that
As
outside
long
of side
as
by side and a double blind. Outside of that, I'm like, it's just fun after that for
yeah.
me. I don't put a ton of weight on it.
Hmm. Yeah, I was going to answer Jonathan. He said that it doesn't get more objective than a double blind flight, and I say it is still objective to evaluate something in a double blind flight, but the more you introduce in that flight, the more flawed that outcome is
Hmm.
because it's caveated as asterisk. If it's just a side by side, I think you can draw really strong conclusions. However, I'm a big stickler for like 10 proof points max difference between the lowest proof pour and the highest proof pour. And that's probably still too loose, honestly, in an objective sense. But if you ever receive a blind flight from me, you can pretty much guarantee that those pours are going to be within 10 proof points of each other. I'm not going to
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah. Like most of the time when I put blind fights together, I'm gonna try to keep the proof very close. And even I try to keep the age somewhat similar, unless I'm trying to make a point, with the flight. But I feel like proof it's got to be something that kind of like, or if you're experienced with those things, there's something that's 100 proof that drinks 110. So sometimes you can kind of throw something in there that's a little bit of a curveball there because it drinks a little higher. So you can kind of manipulate it a little bit there. But overall, I try to keep proof points very, very like within the flight. I try to keep it within 10.
Yeah. It like I said, they're huge. Like I'll still watch blind that are big. SLB does a lot of them. Stuff Whiskey does a lot of them. A lot of the channels do them, and we do them, right? They're fun. But I'm not gonna. But as Cash said, he still loves Fortaleza on its own. It doesn't do well in blind flights. Some people would say, well, then Cash, you don't like Fortaleza. Other brands are better. But he's like, no, I do like it. It's just, in the blind comparison, those things start to affect each other.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, it's a tough line to draw. But yeah, anytime I see a flight that is got a huge proof disparity, when people do the ECBP comparison of the year, it's like, yeah, A125 is not going to perform well unless you're like I know SLB doesn't really sip a whole lot in their flights. They kind of go through once and then they kind of taste a couple things a few more times maybe. But the way I do flights is I go forward, then I go backward, and then I AB, and so the proof point really affects my flight, whereas it might not affect someone who's a little bit more decisive in how they rank things. So
yeah.
And speaking of A125, it's still hitting for me tonight. It's just a really good fruity, sweet port sipping whiskey. It's got a little bit of spice to it though, so it's not completely a port sipper. It's not crushable, but it's crushable. And I just think, like I said, you don't need it if you've got other ECBP. You don't need it. Don't buy it. It's not you spend your money elsewhere. But if you're running low on ECBP, or that kind of profile sounds awesome to you, then I think I would still rate A125 as my favorite of the year. And I know that's very countercultural on Whiskey Tube these days. Everyone's B525 train, but I just love what A125 brings.
I saw Cash and John are talking in the chat about that. What would everybody's so far from what you've had this year? What would you guys consider your whiskey of the year so far? I'm interested in that.
I know Cash before he goes, he says KC21. So, but yeah, see you later.
I saw he said KC21. That's a great pour. Great pour.
I was talking to Randy about this recently, and absolutely Aaron, buy the new Ross recipe instead. It is better. I was talking to Randy about this recently, and I was thinking, I think Jack 14 is in my top 3. Objectively speaking, not considering price point, Cal 18 is in my top 3, and then probably a tough race between Beacon and the Tanyard Hill Rye would round out my top 3.
You're taking price out.
Yeah, I'm taking price out because otherwise Cal 18 comes down for being $400, $500 minimum. But if I take price out of the consideration, it's up there with Jack 14. It's probably those are the top 2 for sure. And then that third place could kind of flip back and forth between those 2 pours. But now you guys will see Tanyard Hill. I think you saw it today, actually. So yeah, go watch that video if you haven't and see all of our thoughts on it. And then Beacon, obviously, we reviewed a couple of weeks back, so you can watch that one.
I was looking at my list. I have a list over here, and I just went to Kentucky with a couple of my neighbor friends, and we went to. Also, if you've never been to I posted a video on Patreon while I was there. Like, did a mini review just for the fun of it of Unity while I was down there, but. Man, that New Springs distillery Heaven Hill has, if you get a chance to do the tour there, do it. It is awesome. That place is so nice. It's beautiful. It's going to be amazing once they get it. It's just phase one right now, and they've got 3 phases to do. But man, that is so cool. The experience was awesome. They give you walk in, they hand you an old fashioned right away. Cool, and it was good. And then they give you a lanyard with like the little mini Glen on it hanging from it. And then as you go around, they start giving you pours throughout the tour of the thing, which is pretty cool. You got the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 7 year. You got the Olfit 7 year. You've got the new Granite Glass Rye, and then you finish up with Unity, and then they have all of those things there, Unity included, that you can buy at the end, um, at there with their gift shop and some other stuff. So pretty cool. I definitely recommend the tour. That place is so cool. Such a nice event space. It's so open. They've got so much room. It's going to be really cool. But right now, so I tasted Unity, and then I went to the bar at Heaven Hill, the Five Brothers bar, and I bought a pour of William Heaven Hill 19, and it was great. But I don't think I would put it as whiskey of the year for me. I think the proof is too high for me on it. I think for me, I think I enjoy the Penelope 13 year more than that. I added a drop of water to it, and it really opened up, and I liked it a lot more from there. But man, it's tough. Like, I think if I side by sided it, I think the William Heaven Hill would win. The proof is just absolutely going to crush the Penelope, but I think I enjoyed the lower proof and the profile of the 13-year Penelope over it. So I would say that Penelope Estate 13-year right now is my personal whiskey of the year. We haven't tasted C&E. What is it? We haven't tasted Little Book Infinite 2.
C&E a little bit Infinite 2 are coming tomorrow. We're recording it tomorrow. You'll see.
Yeah.
C&E Friday is the current schedule, and Little Book will probably come out Monday or Wednesday next week, probably. So
yeah, we got a few more things to try, but it's just, John, it's tough, man. It's like, I've seen those. I have all like the last 5 years William Heaven Hills. I love to, like, I have those. I can't, there is not a chance I'm paying secondary on that. No, not a chance. Like, I would love to have it as part of my collection too, and I would drink it just like all mine are open now. I would drink them, but I can't pay like it. To me, I preferred all the Oakleys over it. That's $1,000 a bottle, and I preferred Watch Hill Proper 20 over it. Obviously, I know 20 years, 19 years. We're talking about a year difference. Like, close enough, but all of those prices were cheaper than what that is on secondary, and there's no way I'm getting that thing for retail. So, to me, I'm fine. I bought a pour. It was expensive. It was like $65 a pour, like an ounce at that bar. But I'm like, I'm probably not going to get this bottle. So I thought it was really good. I thought it was even better with water. I feel like the oak was just so impactful on it. Not necessarily in a bad way, but like, I don't know. I was happy trying it and experiencing it, but I'm okay missing out on it, the rest of it. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'd rather have what I have now, and the 13-year Penelope for that profile. Anyway.
Yeah, Joseph, on that comment about Evergreen, I heard they're ending the half price pours in this year. So if you're near Kentucky, you should take advantage of that while you still can.
Yeah.
Which I understand it's probably a huge loss for them to continue to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, John, it's tough, man. I mean, get a pour if you can. I know somebody that that has one. I would get a pour from that guy if you can to try it. I think it's definitely worth trying. Um, Man, that's a tough sell on the pricing. I just don't. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Um, Terry, I would love to try Michter's 20. I wish I would have gone to that event just for that. But yeah, that's tough to include in any kind of whiskey of the year thing because it's just like super
Hmm.
unattainable.
Actually, I think this year's batch hasn't come out yet. It's supposed to ship in December, I thought.
Right. There was a local group, the local bourbon club, Naptown Bourbon Club, had an event, like a tasting, and they were here, and Master Distillers here, and they got to, I think it was like $50 an ounce or something. They got to
Oh,
try.
that's really good. Yeah. Yeah. The reason I've had it, I had last year's Michter's 20, and that was thanks to Justin Williams. So I know he's in the Discord. So shout out to you, brother, on that one. It was fantastic. I mean, not something I'm ever going to buy for the cost, but just the chance to try it if you get it for a decent price,
Yeah.
especially
No,
under
for sure.
$100. Like, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I mean, like, that's why I paid to taste an ounce of that William Heaven Hill. I'm like, why not? Well, I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's try this thing.
So guys, this is Strange 12. Norm and Randy have tried it, and they did not like it on Fresh Crack. And I have been advocating that I sent samples. They have bottles just as a sample for me. I'm advocating that we review it, but
should I just try it?
You go for it. I'll send you another sample if you think it's worthy enough to put on the channel. But for me, it's in the whiskey of the year conversation. It's probably not top 3. Oh, that's pretty dang close though.
I gotta dig through our 8,000 samples to
Yeah.
find it, but I will look. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Jeremy. Man, so much apple. It's just cinnamon apple pie. Oh my goodness, it's good.
Is it in? Do you remember what you sent it in?
It'll be in a 1 ounce sample jar in a non-liquid ministry. Use code Spirited10 for 10% off checkout.
How dare you? How dare you not?
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Stranahan definitely. I think on Fresh Crack it can be a little Amberana-esque. There's no confirm nor denial that Amberana's in it. We know they use like blonde ale casks, but it's very cinnamon heavy on Fresh Crack, and then after about a week of opening, it just turns really dark, concentrated apple pie filling note. And I'm the baker, so. Well, I don't know what else I would want. It's my favorite American single malt of the year. Don't buy Milestone 2 or 3. Sorry, batch 3. Buy Stranahan's. I posted that in our Discord. So again, Discord's free to join, guys. Links down below if you're watching this, on the replay. And come join in. We talk whiskey, cigars, everything, spirits all day long. But the Milestone 2 is more expensive than the Stranahan's 12, and the Stranahan's 12 is just so much more of a whiskey to me. Milestone 3 is still good, but get your hands. Joseph's tried batch 1 of the Big Boy Watch Hill Proper Heaven Hill 20 is 100% wins, but it was like 30 bottles of a single barrel.
Oh yeah, batch 1 is. Joe, I never got to try batch 1. I had a bottle of batch 2, and it's down to just a few ounces left. I split it with Nick in Georgia, and then it's probably my favorite pour of an actual release, not falling off the truck, anything that I've ever had. I love that thing. It's so good. It's so good. Batch 1 would be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was chatting with I can't remember his name, but I posted in his video. I kind of started following him. Smaller whiskey, bigger than us, but smaller whiskey reviewer, and he doesn't like malt whiskey. and I don't know if this was his first, but he reviewed Stranahan's 12, and he said it was in his whiskey of the year conversation. He doesn't even care for malt whiskey typically, so I can't recommend it enough personally, especially if you love apple pie. Jonathan asked, "Well, Watch Hill Proper Batch 2 over any of the Oakleys?" My question for me, I haven't had any of them.
Oh, found it. Found it. You know, I was down to my last drawer, so you know.
Have you tried Watch Hill
For me,
Proper Batch 2, Justin?
that's the one I had.
Okay. Would you?
Yeah, I would take it over all Oakleys personally.
Okay. There you go, Jonathan.
So to me, Watch Hill Proper Batch 2 was like slightly better version of Heaven Hill 17. And Heaven Hill 17 is probably as close to a perfect whiskey as I've ever had, and I enjoyed it just like a little bit more. The Oakleys, I feel like they were just almost too much of that profile. Almost like it leaned more towards like what William Heaven Hill 19 is, and I like it. Like I want to have like a little bit more fruit with it, and like I want it to be a little bit more going on. And Watch Your Proper Batch 2 was just like so balanced and so well done. And I felt it was just like a slightly elevated Heaven Hill 17, whereas the Oakleys I feel like were more of like a single barrel profile, not in a bad way, but like it was like more of a ride and like more of a punch and a ride. And I think I just lean like where proof, I like it just like a little less proof. Like sometimes the proof just can kind of overtake everything, and it kind of takes away from your whole experience. And I think yeah, that's tough. That is tough. And that to me is like every individual is gonna have a different opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
And like Zach and I have ran into that on some pours too.
Yeah.
Where it's just a profile. And like Jeremy, he loves that Oakley 136 proof. And to me, I was just like, it just hit hard, and it was so dark that I just was like not as enjoyable to me as, you know, other people.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy, it was like his favorite pour he's ever had. So
yeah.
I get it. I mean, that's the difference though. Like that versus Watch Hill Proper 20 is like, to me, that's the difference in like what I prefer versus what other people like. And that's fine. That is like almost the example of what I'm saying of like Penelope 13 year versus William Heaven Hill 19. It's just like they are so, one is a punch in the face and then it gives you that profile, and then the other is just like that profile and it doesn't need any water or anything, and it is just fruits, chocolate, leather, cigar. Like it's just slight differences.
Yeah, I haven't said it in a while in our reviews, but impact whiskey versus balanced, nuanced whiskey.
Mm-hmm. And it's just preference. Like,
yeah,
do you want the ride? Sometimes I want the ride. Sometimes I don't. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta highlight another comment. So Jonathan, I have one final Glen in front of me, but I do have an Oakwoods 18 single barrel. This is the mashup podcast, I think. Yeah, I don't know what they called it, but it's Elkwoods 18-year single barrel. Or I have another one that Discord favorite, the Woodford Reserve Chocolate Whisper Redux, the chocolate fart, affectionately called, which I know a lot of people have really given a lot of love for.
So, all the Calumet Farms 18, I would take it over the Elkwoods I've had. Cam's was really good. I like Cam's more than the mashup. But they are so different. The to me, the Calumet Farms 18, it does taste older. I think we kind of confirmed there was like 22-year-old barrels in that blend, and I think that tracks because it tastes like there was more oak impact, whereas the Elkwood 18s was more vanilla cream and stuff, and it was more of it was way closer. The gap between the Elkwood 18s and the Barton 13s that have been out is so small, in my opinion, compared to that versus the Calumet 18. Calumet 18 tastes 18. Those Elkwoods, they taste maybe 15 to me. Whereas it's just that's the difference to me.
Well, I think
It
they
just depends. It just depends on your profile preference. I could totally see people liking the Elkwoods more.
didn't we hear the rumor that Cal 18 had 22-year-old whiskey in the blend?
That's what I said.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it tracks because that tastes older. That's the only one that has that oak impact. There's other really awesome single barrels I've had. Jeremy and I have shared a couple of them, samples and stuff we've swapped, and picks we've split that Blendery had, but nothing. I don't think anything's had the oak impact that Cal 18 has.
Man, I'm telling you guys, if you guys want a Thanksgiving bottle, I think these are still available on Stranahan's website.
I'm about to taste it.
Stranahan 12. If you love apple pie.
Oh man, that's very caramel apple on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, Terry, I do want to highlight Jeremy's question again, but I'm with you. At this stage, I've got enough whiskey that I'll take me, decades to drink at this point, and I'd rather just pay up for the experience I love versus get most of the way there. A year ago, I would rather just pay to get most of the way there. But now that I have enough whiskey that's most of the way there, I just want whiskey that's already there. But, I still have a good value pour. I mean, even though I may not buy the many of those anymore, I still see the value in the market. And obviously, I'm a very small percentage. We're all a very small percentage at this point versus the entire market. So we could make content all day long that's, Buffalo Trace versus ex-Shelfer, and we'd probably get more views than we currently get. But we review the whiskeys that we like or the spirits that we like. So speaking of
Stranahan's is good. Stranahan's good.
Do y'all think ASM ever evolves into a category that competes with bourbon? I think it could compete with rye, but I don't think it'll ever touch bourbon.
Nah, bourbon's too big.
Yeah. And even rye at this point is gaining enough popularity that ASM has a tough hill to climb. But generally speaking, ASM is sweeter than rye, and sweet is what makes bourbon untouchable, in my opinion, from a general public perspective.
How much is that Stranahan's 12?
200.
I like it, but not nearly that enough. That
Yeah, you have to want apple pie in a glass.
I mean, I can see it. It's just, I don't know. It's good. It's just not 200 good for me. I'm probably at closer to half that money wise on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it to me, it's definitely top 10. I don't know that we'll review it on the channel just because I think I would be the only one who would be of that opinion at this point, unless Norm or Randy retry it. But if you align with me, or if you like apple pie notes, if you want liquid apple pie, it's very much that to me, and it's gotten darker. It is a little bit cinnamon forward upon opening, and then it kind of darkens and gets richer with some airtime. So it's my favorite ASM this year. I don't know. Justin also has the Westward Milestone, which he hasn't. That was a review that only me, Randy, and Norm did. So he'll review it at some point. He'll he'll put a comment on the video, and I'll pin
Yeah.
it for you guys so you guys can see his score.
Yeah, I was sick during that that recording session. I came home, I was feeling like crap. Came home that day and I'm like, hold on, let me try small batch select to see if how my palate is. And I tasted small batch select and it was just ethanol, and I was like, nah, it's not good. So they recorded without me, and then I kind of revisited stuff as we're releasing stuff, and then I'll comment on it with my score, and then Zach or somebody will pin it there so everybody can see what my score is. Plus, it's on the sheet, so it's in the rating sheet. I've been adding them as we've released stuff, but
Terry, for me, it's the only pour in my. I mean, I don't have quite the collection of say Randy and Norm, but in my 200-ish bottle collection, it's the only one that I would say is quintessential Thanksgiving whiskey. So, like I said, for me, it's a home run. I'm glad I have the bottle. I would be tempted to back it up personally. I haven't yet, but I would be tempted to. If anyone has a bottle that they don't like and it's open, shoot me a DM. I might buy it off you. And then Jonathan says he feels like Florida, Texas, Georgia ASM could compete with rye, but it's mostly Northwest and Midwest right now, and that's the wrong climate agent. Texas,
I mean,
we did do the Balcones from Norm.
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched that, it's a blind wisdom video, and I have gone back. Originally, we had it kind of vague, but I went back and I told you what was in the blind wisdom. I don't know. You guys comment, tell me. Do you want to know in our blind wisdom videos? We haven't done that many. We're going to do some more. It's not off the table, but we've been trying to focus on new release reviews. But do you guys want to see the reveal in the title, or do you want to be surprised? You guys tell me. I just assume we might get more clicks if it's revealed, so you can know what we're going to be drinking. But that thing was awesome. Yeah. I will dispute you because Cedar Ridge out of Iowa makes amazing single malts, the quintessentials especially. And Stranahan's out of Colorado, and I do generally love most of what they do. So I think they kind of latched onto that because they knew they couldn't compete with the bourbon rye market because they don't have the climate to do those, but they are more akin to like a Scotch climate in those regions. So that's probably what they saw. And but Texas Balcones American single malt is fantastic.
Hey, John, in the box I'm about to send you, I'm going to send you a sample of this. I have Balcones rye to pick. I think Zach tried it. I don't think he liked it. But to me, it tastes like a less crafty Detling, personally. But, I mean, everybody's different. It's hazmat. It's up there. But it's a fun pour. It's a fun pour.
So, Terry, I believe I'll double check after the stream, or if I get like a moment to look, but I believe it's available on Stranahan's website. So try there first. I think it's still in stock there. I made a ton of these bottles. If it's not, I'll see if I can do some sleuthing and find you something.
You don't have to respect our palates. It's okay. It's okay.
So the reason I like Cedar Ridge is because they do peated malt, and if you don't like peated whiskey, then I can see how that would catch you in the wrong way. But that's why I like their single malts, is because they do imported Scottish peated malt. And I'll tell you, I'm definitely on the train of, and I tend to have this opinion of like supporting the underdog. You may have noticed, I don't know, but I'm in the opinion that Texas whiskey is definitely underrated. I like what Garrison Brothers does. I like what Balcones does. I like that flavor. It's unique. It's something that they should continue to focus on and highlight because it sets them apart. So I'm with you, Jonathan. We'll take any and all Balcones samples. I know Cowboy Bourbon is going to come out in December from Garrison Brothers, so I'll probably keep my eye out for that for the channel.
Oh man. That's right by my house too. It's literally probably the halfway point between me and Joe, I think, is that Meyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see people hating it. I thought I would hate it, and I like it
Yeah.
somehow. It took me a minute because I was tasting it at first, and I was like, "Do I hate this or do I love this?" And then I had to decide. But I like it for like it's to me, it's really espresso chocolate, like maltiness that I like. It's not something I want to have all the time, but I like it almost like a
Yeah.
dessert pour. Kind of fun.
On that note, I did a guy in our Discord, Brandon, lives in Huntsville, Alabama with me. I went over to his house and tried the highproof.com. It's a website. You can go there. Their Balcones Rye single barrel pick versus the Detling. Earlier this year, the Detling Rye pick, not the one that just dropped on his website a month ago or whatever. And I much preferred the Balcones over the Detling, to circle back to the Detling conversation earlier in the stream. If I think it's just a better overall product. I mean, the Detling Rye kind of actually loses a little bit of the Detling profile, in my opinion, which was a detriment for me because I like the Detling profile.
Wait, I might like it then.
Yeah, you might like it. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, yeah, I mean, because would you say the gold tops lose the Detling
Yeah,
profile?
the gold tops are the most like standard bourbon profile from Detling you can get. And I can't
I like
imagine what
gold
this
tops.
new one tastes. I would love to taste the new gold top. I only know one person who got it, and that's Chris Blankenship. I don't know if he's still in the stream or not, but if you
Chris
want
is
to send
everywhere
samples,
all the
we would
time.
love to try it. We would love to compensate you for those samples if you do want to send them in. But don't feel pressured to. No big deal. Um, but yeah, now the last year's gold top, like I said, after the fact, I would have paid the $200 he was asking for it. At the time, no way. But then I tasted it and I was like, okay, it's $200 whiskey in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now it's 350. I don't know, some crazy like that he asked for this last batch. You want to try the Garrison Cowboy Brown? So the 2023 one is really wild but still good. The 2024 one, not so much. So if you can get a 2023 sample, definitely recommend it. Y'all gonna try the 2024 Garrison Cowboy I sent. I didn't know you sent us that, James. Maybe unless you sent it to Randy and he hasn't distributed it yet. I'm always down for it. It is to borrow a note from Josh Stuff and Whiskey. He called it the wooden roller coaster of whiskey because it's loud, rackety, full of wood, and crazy. And that's definitely accurate description.
It's interesting.
So I'm going to drink that Barton, the Mashup podcast, Elkwood 18 year. So
Yeah.
see how I have Cal 18 over there, but I don't want to fish it out.
We're probably gonna wrap up here in just a few with the stream.
Yeah.
So if you guys got anything else you want to hear or thoughts on or anything, let me know.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here.
Ooh,
but
it's pretty good.
But this is what I'm talking about. So now you're chasing it. So this is what I'm talking about with the oak impact is way less.
Way less. Yeah.
Right.
I know there's a lot of people on our Discord that talk about they didn't like Cal 18 or they didn't want to buy Cal 18 because they didn't like oak. If you're willing to spend $400, I think that's about what these run.
This is what I'm saying is to me, you are better off buying the 13-year picks for $250
from
Augusta, River Roots, any of those. They've all got. I'm sure everybody's going to have 13-year Barton picks coming. Yeah. So I think you're better off buying that personally. I mean, you're going to get a little bit better profile out of the 18s, but it's not to me. It's not $400.
Yeah. I say tasting.
I would just
tasting this is nowhere near Cal 18 to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's good whiskey. If I remove the price from it, I'm like, yeah, this is good whiskey. I would like to have a bottle of it. But if you add the price in, I'm like, okay, no, I no longer want a bottle of it.
Mm-hmm. Look, Terry,
it's too early.
Listen. We have to make our significant others happy. This was one that I got. I bought it today because I'm tired of all the slander of ceramic Christmas trees, and they're classic Christmas. And I'm all for classic Christmas. And it's got to be Christmas up in here. So
Jonathan,
I just want more points scored.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
3-0, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was personally thinking the Eagles were going to win tonight. I think they're the better team. They've done a lot of moves at the trade deadline to strengthen their defense. So I think Green Bay's a little overrated. They're kind of like the Bills. They played their competition level. You know, if they're playing a poor team like the Carolina Panthers, they play poorly and they get beat by the Carolina Panthers. They're playing the Eagles. Seems like it's a good defensive battle for them. So, and Green Bay's notoriously conservative on free agency and especially on the offensive side of the ball. And I think they just have a weird mishmash of wide receiver room right now. And I think losing Tucker Kraft really hurts them. I'm a fantasy football player, and I really that's something I spend a lot of time with. So if you ever have any fantasy football questions, feel free to DM me or just pop in our Discord chat. Happy to talk fantasy with you guys, give you my insights, my opinions, if you're interested in getting an outside opinion. Cali team was great, but would be easier to justify at 300 to 350. What's up, Mingo, by the way? Glad you're here.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, everything would be easier to justify cheaper. Like I said,
I think take away the trophy bottle, and it is probably that price, but it's a cool ass trophy bottle.
Yeah, the box is nice, but like I said, objectively speaking, removing the price, Cal 18 is a top 2 pour for me that we've tried on the channel this year. Not counting single barrels because we try not to review those often. We do them occasionally, but single barrels obviously are what they are. But top 2 pour for me. You add the price back in. I kind of duck it back down under some other stuff that's technically, but you're looking at Deacon's $300, Denise $300, KC21 is $250. I mean, I like Cal 18 objectively more than all of those, and those are all cheaper. And so it's just a matter of, in your opinion, if you're only going to get one, get the Cal 18. If you can afford multiples, then maybe get the cheaper ones. But a Cal 28, whoa, Terry, what's that like?
Yeah. I mean, I like Cal 18 was my number one of the year until I had the Penelope 13. And then it overtook it for me. Just profile wise, that's just more my profile than. But I love Cal 18. Then Cal 18's probably third for me now. So mine is probably Penelope 13 year, William Heaven Hill 19, and then Cal 18. Currently, my top 3.
Yeah, you put Cal 18 on the shelf and Jack 14 on the shelf. I'm going to grab Jack 14. You put them on the shelf. I'm going to grab the cheaper bottles. Probably, I'm going to grab the Beacon. I'm going to potentially grab the CNE. I'm going to grab the Tanner Hill. But if you just tell me you already own the bottles and you can only drink one and you got to get rid of the rest, then Cal 18 and Jack 14 are going to be at the top of that heap, and the rest of them are going to get poured down the drain to save the Cal 18 and the Jack 14. So,
man, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I agree, Mingo. The oak profile on Cal 18 is probably my favorite this year. Second favorite is going to be this nice, beautiful guy here. So,
I was trying to look at what I ranked. Found North.
You really like the new paragraph?
No, Helldiver 8.5.
No, Helldiver.
So yeah, I'm probably, man. Yeah. Okay, so it's still Tanyard Hill's probably in my top. Is 10 out of my top 10.
Yeah.
KC21 is my number 8 as of right now. That's tough though. I'd have to revisit some of these.
Yeah, and you have to, if you haven't checked out our app, that Tim built for us, and is super awesome. It's the best scoring app on the Whiskey Tube, guaranteed. Um, but the thing is, we obviously rate with price in mind. We think that's more appropriate for you guys. You guys can make your own price value determination, and we present four different value determinations, and we'll talk about that at one point when we got all four guys on the same stream. But we all come from a different value perspective, and so we think that brings you guys some value, and you kind of kludge it together however you think works best for you. But our scores are based on scores. I gave a Cal 18 a 7 because of this price, whereas objectively, if you said remove the price, I'm going to be in that 8 to 9 range, obviously. But go check out the app if you haven't. You can do lots of cool things. I think at some point we'll probably do a little app tour video where we show you guys all the features there. But you can basically go through and you can select 10 pours that you can rate yourself, and you can give it scores on our scale, and you can kind of see who you align with. So yeah, same Terry.
Yeah.
If the Jack 14 for less than $400. He's correcting himself. Jack 14 was great, but I preferred Jack 12 batch 3. See, I heard that a lot leading up to our review of Jack 14, and
they're so different profiles.
Upon trying them on the channel, again, that's another one where I go into Jack 14. I was like, oh, everyone says it's wild, it's crazy, it's unhinged, it's unbalanced. And I didn't have that experience. And Randy's bottle had been open for a little bit, so I think it does benefit from some airtime. And I just didn't get the experience that people had advertised after going to the Jack event earlier this year down in Franklin, Tennessee. And Jack 14 just wiped the slate for me against Jack 12.
Same for me, but yeah, Jack 14 tasted less like Jack than Jack 13, so or Jack 12. So
lots of people still have that opinion that Jack 12 is better than Jack 14, but I'm pretty solidly that the 14 is better for me.
So I thought when I tasted Jack 12 batch 3, I thought it was the best Jack I've ever had. Then I had Jack 14, and I was like, this is the best Jack I've ever had. And then I had Tenured Hill, and I'm like, this is the best Jack I've ever had. And I've tasted
or set some new bars.
I've tasted some of the old Kois, and those just never hit for me. But the new Tenured Hill is I kind of want to get. I mean, there's no way I would pay secondary on that thing. Yeah. But man, I would love to sit with a few ounces of that thing and just dissect it a little bit, because it evolved so much as we were tasting it. Mm-hmm. Just the 1 ounce, that it would be a fun pour, and it's way more rye than any other Jack I've ever had. So that was more my profile too.
Yeah.
The twice barreled rye was awesome. You know what? That was probably the twice barreled rye probably overtook Jack 12 batch 3, but not as good as Jack 14 for me. Jack 14 is pretty awesome. So whole different animal.
Yeah, I think for me, the 21 Coy Hills still stand at the top of the heap for me for Jack releases. But this year's been amazing. 12 is really good. 14 is really good. Tenured Hill's really good. I've heard there's some really good bottles of the 100 proof Heritage barrel. Obviously, we got kind of a dud for our review, but I know that Randy has tasted a different bottle and has bought that bottle. So there are good ones out there, but single barrel roulette. So I'm excited. I'm thinking, obviously they'll release Jack 14 batch 2 and Jack 12 batch 4 and Jack 10 batch 5 this coming spring, I guess. And kind of excited to see what that profile looks like next year. And then, I think in 2 years we'll get Jack, or 3 years we'll get Jack 18. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So they're doing some awesome stuff. Their price points are killer. Not many brands are able to do what they're able to do from the price point perspective on their special releases. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, okay for us both to be wrong. It is okay. It's also okay for you to be wrong, Jeremy. Nah, I understand the 12 is a more rounded pour than say the 14 is, but I just love that oak and the darkness and the brawniness of the 14.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, do you want to sign us off? We're at 2 hours.
Yeah.
You guys for hanging out with us long.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out and everything. A little bit different of a whole situation than normal live stream. So let us know what you think about this kind of more open forum kind of thing as we taste different pours and things versus, what we've normally done. I think it'd be fun to throw some reviews in here, occasionally too. When we got all four of us, I think that could be fun doing it during the live stream and then interacting over chat. I think was pretty fun. But let us know what you guys think and everything. And you ready?
I'm ready.
With that, guys, stay spirited. We'll see you on the next one.
Stay spirited, everyone. Hold on, let me get this outro set up for you guys.
Sorry, I was asking.
Yeah. There we go. Hold on.
Yeah, you're Randy for the night.
Yeah. See you guys.
See you guys.
There we go.